Hi, and welcome to the second video in a series of 3 about blues backup, standard tuning, key of E. The first video was about basic blues backup, grips and licks, and you can find that video here, or just find the link in the description. And this video is going to take us a step further. So let's go. 3, 2, 1, and... So what was happening here? I kind of added some more grips and licks compared to the first video. And the first one was to kind of add a little bit more syncopating between the open first string note and this hammer-on the third string, first fret, and the bass and the whole groove together with that. That would sound like... But it's like... So it's open first string, and then I grab the A chord, in this case with my middle finger, and then I have the index ready for that hammer-on. Then I can add some little bit kind of punchier this hammer on here. Kind of go back to that open string, so you can do it in different ways. So that was the first one. Then when I went to the chord of A, then I had this that's played between these notes. So I go to A. So there was a little bit of syncopation here with this A chord. So I'm combining the A note both on the 5th string and on the 3rd string, 2nd fret here. Then go back. So there are so many different ways to do this, but I kind of combine those depending on the mood, depending on what I'm doing. If that's kind of played behind somebody else who's maybe doing a solo, then it's a cool thing to do, kind of add something more on the basses while this other person is playing a solo. So it's kind of adding to the dynamics of everything. Of course, you can just play the basic backup, but in blues we play many rounds. So it's like 1st, 2nd, 3rd round, then you have to add something to be kind of more dynamic and more fun to listen to. So that was with the A. When it comes to B chord, that's a basic grip, right? So I kind of play all 6 strings and everything is ringing, but there's so I added this glide of the same chord shape from the 4th, 3rd, 2nd fret, either or. But here I only chose to play the 6th, 3rd, and the 1st string. So kind of. There's a difference in playing it this way than just brushing all 6 strings all the time. And it's more dynamic like this. So first I play. And then back to the backup. So I can also kind of come to the B7 chord by doing this grip shifting. If I go to let's say A, and now, and then go on. So it's, so I end up by playing the whole chord, and then I go to the A7. So either I'll play the backup again and then a turnaround, or I'll do this lick. So I'll do it very slowly now. And the grips on my left hand is, so I'm gliding from the 1st fret on the 2nd string, come to the form of A7. And then after that, I go, so I play the 3rd fret on the 1st string, open string, open 2nd string, and then I kind of place the whole left hand as if I would play the E sus chord, like. But I'm preparing to play this 1st note on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. So that same hammer on, but then I end it with the note of E on the 4th string. So slowly once again. And finish off with a big bass. And then a turnaround. There was a little variation that I also played of this same lick. So I went like, so I kind of went from a little pulling from the 3rd to the 4th fret, open string, open second, and then play the same. Sorry. So there is a lot of jumping with my index finger here on the picking hand, which can prevent me to play this in a very fast shuffly tempo. And I know, whoever's done some classical guitar training, or tries to be efficient when playing licks and to be able to play both slowly and fast, could tell me a word or two about this technique. But it's worked for me for years, and I like playing it that way, so that's it. And this can be played like this, that I just leave the basses before I come to that last note, or I can kind of keep the bass. So I'm on A bass most of the lick, and then just go back to E. Now I also grabbed the B note on the second fret of the fifth string. So it's like, you see, I'm always kind of fooling around, kind of experimenting, improvising, and I'm not really good at explaining the same lick all over, again, because I would add something new to it anyway. So yeah, take it for what it is. So let's go to the next one. So the next lick I played was in this one. So it's So this is the hammer-on with a pinky. And then I went to the A7. And this lick is not mine. This is, I don't know, maybe it's, somebody would say this was from Willie Brown's blues from the 20s, and a lot of blues guitar players would play this lick in different variations. So basically none of these licks are really mine. It's just kind of my way of playing them, maybe modifying the old masters that played a certain way. So it's I'm not claiming on any of these licks or grips that I'm playing. So now when I played the A7 chord after this, that's the lick I can refer to Jimmy Rogers. He used to play with Muddy Waters in the 50s and late 40s, 50s, and maybe into the 60s as well. But they kind of play this slow blues together with Little Walter on harmonica, and that's a old-timey, fantastic school to learn about this kind of Chicago-y blues licks. So he played this. Then we go back to E. So what's happening here is, so I'm grabbing the A7 shape like this, second and fourth string. Then I'm going to the seventh here. And then I play this A7 chord, and then I play the open first string. So then go back. And the beauty of this is this kind of a little dissonant kind of grip, and I love it that way. So. This same kind of lick that I played in the first very basic video, because it's always like a, I like this kind of stage of kind of longing to that relaxment that comes with a, okay, I'm on the chord again, so, and so on. that was in that one. So the next lick I played was up here on the 9th and 7th fret of the 2nd and the 1st string. So this is a grip which is actually a part of an E chord, which can be grabbed up here, right? But I'm just using the first 2 strings out of that full grip, and I'm playing it with a big bass. So, and then, so the first string is not bent in almost any way, but the 2nd string is kind of bent in between these 2 notes. I'm not reaching this note because this is a plain major chord. So I want to start with a major chord, but then I went to the 7th, because the 7th of the E chord up here is on the 9th fret, right? And then I went to grab the A chord instead of down here. I grabbed it up here because, of course, A chord, and then that shape of it. And then I only play the 3rd, 2nd, and the 1st string. And then I add this little 9th note here. And back to E. So all this together is like a... So I'm kind of gliding from the 5th to the 6th fret on the 3rd string. And I'm actually only playing the 3rd and the 1st string, and the note on the 5th string is kind of sneaking in by just being pressed with my finger, and then, you know, some of the fingers would eventually just, you know, pick that as well. But it comes like a... and back again. All these small things, you know, that you can do is kind of gliding with that note, or just all that is dynamics in your playing. And then I also added a little lick that's it's based on Brownie McGee's playing, because he would play this. This is a very common lick. A lot of players played it. Just remember Unplugged CD with Eric Clapton. He really played this often. So, but I think the origin of this lick is from Brownie McGee. And I've done a little variation of that. So I played... I do that in order to come back to the E chord down here. So I'm utilizing open string rings to just move from the 7th fret, 5th, 7th down. So I'm playing. So after this bend, I'm playing the 1st open string, 2nd open, and then go down. So let's say B7. That was also a different turnaround. So I'll get back to that in a second. So very slowly, this lick in A. So I'm gliding from all the way down here, playing the 5th fret on the 2nd string, and then 7, 6, 5, bend, and after that it's open 1st, open 2nd. I'm flying down there to the 2nd fret and grab this, and then so and then this turn around. This is just another way to play this. picking only the 5th, 3rd, and the 1st string, or from down to up. So now we're kind of throwing out some names and whatever. I think, anyway, I've heard it for the first time by Muddy Waters. And so on and so on. So I guess that was it. This second video in a series of 3, and the third one is going to be basically the same kind of backup, but speed it up a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit of more shuffly, faster tempo, which will give us some nice dynamic, openings for both licks and grips, and the way we can syncopate the notes, different than when we're playing just a slow blues backup. Thanks so much for watching, and lots more to come. I'll see you in the next one.